Hello, once again I'm here using data, facts, and statistics, and my own personal opinion, which will be used as fact to determine which factions in Age of Sigmar are based or cringe. Now, let us begin. We got Tzeentch. His mono armies are pretty cool, though there are some issues. They have few issues. No. I have issues with Chaos in general. You know, being related to Chaos is already bad. Also, they need more models. Also, Tzeentch doesn't get really anything to do that's cool or interesting, so they'll be here. Destruction faction already has a big issue with the fact that they all worship Gorkamorka. Like, come on. Like, they all should have their own individual god, not worshiping Gorkamorka. I think that's lazy. Same thing, problem with the ogres. Them being chased by an eternal winter, awesome. Being essentially super Mongols, very cool. Worshipping Gorkamorka, the green skinned god, very cringe. So that you fix that, and these guys will immediately be bumped up to here. Beast of Chaos. Honestly, they should be a destruction army. They don't even act like they worship the Chaos gods. They just worship Chaos for Chaos's sake. It'd probably be cool if they were just to skip out on their own and do their own thing because, you know, they've been Chaos's redheaded stepchild since the beginning. I don't know. Beast of Chaos just feel like they've always been shafted. If I was a Beast of Chaos player and I saw Kragnos, and I'd be so mad. I thought that was a Beast of Chaos model when I first saw it, only to find out it's just some destruction demigod. Ooh, would I be pissed. There's not even an army to go around with it. Even when I talk about Beast of Chaos, I have to rant about another faction because they're just so unloved. Now we got the Free Cities of Sigmar. These guys are pretty okay. They have relatively few problems. I'm not a big fan of their newer models, but their concept is pretty cool. I wish they had a model that looked like this guy. This guy looks like an utter Chad, though they'll never be able to fully replace the Empire in my heart. They're nowhere near as cool. Idoneth deepkin. Here we go. Very based, very cool. Atlantis elves. Honestly, the only reason they're not higher up is because they don't have more models. Like, I want a giant freaking crab monster or like a kraken that goes on land and eats people. Give me these things, GW. I will pay for more deep sea ocean monsters. Like, I don't care. Like, give me a freaking coral armored elves. That sounds cool. Just give me more coral stuff. They could do so much more with Idoneth deepkin. Honestly, they are my second favorite branch of elves in Age of Sigmar. Very awesome models, just not enough of them. Like, they ride on eels freaking battles, man. That's awesome. Also, they're pirates. Very based. Flesh Eater Courts. Their gimmicks funny. Like, ha ha ha, we all suffer from this delusion curse. Very tragic, very funny. Like, they can't really grow as a faction, but they'll always be at least enjoyable. So I have few issues with them. Like, they'll never really truly matter in the universe. And not even their own, I guess, Grand Alliance likes them. So, Dwarf, the Fireslayers. Ugh. What can I say? Their model line sucks. Their lore is nigh on non-existent. Like, you think you could do a lot with just a bunch of fire dwarfs slayers, but no, apparently GW can't find a way to make them relevant. Even their own god doesn't want anything to do with them. Hey, Sigmar, we heard that your Stormcast are having some trouble. I'll go build you some toys. My kids can go get fucking bent. It's just like Warhammer Fantasy again. If the dwarves can't really be allowed to do anything, or at least be the center of attention without something bad happening or it being boring. Gloomspite gitz. Love these little guys. Their models are so amazing. Oh my god. They could do so much more with them. But there's no real lore negative to them. Like, oh yeah, they'll never really matter, but that's kind of the reason you also play them. It's like, it's just pure insanity. Like, going in with a bunch of squigs into some dude's back line and mulching through everyone. Oh, that's ecstasy right there. That's just unbelievably awesome. Their models are great. The only negative thing I can really say about them is that it would take an eternity to paint them well. Like, I don't even mind that they worship Gorkamorka because they're greenskins originally, so they're just worshipping gods that are original to them, unlike the other destruction factions who essentially somehow got converted to worshipping Gorkamork. Yet again, another Chaos Army. Same issues with the Disciples of Tzeentch, really. They need more models, and they need to make Chaos more interesting and less, I guess, dimensionally one note. They're just so boring, really. I liked it back in the old days when Chaos really had, like, multiple things about it. Like, Khorne used to be more honorable, and, like, they wouldn't slaughter helpless citizens, because what's the point of fighting somebody who can't fight back? Tzeentch was the god of, like, hope and change, so people, like, even if you were a good person, you would pray to Tzeentch, like, oh shit, maybe my situation can change for the better. And same issue with Nurgle. I wish there was more that they could really do. They're so one-dimensional that they get boring after a while. Like, they're a fun villain, but they always hog the spotlight and always have to be getting the center of attention whenever bad guys are doing bad things. Like, second edition being, like, the Age of Nagash was awesome because I didn't have to look at these 3 or 4. But let me just get these guys out of the way. Hedonites are the most fun out of all of them. Slaanesh not being a thing makes them inherently more interesting than all 3 of those guys. Also, their models are awesome. The only other models that I like here are the Nurgle ones. So we'll just put Nurgle ahead of you guys. Yeah, Dwarves I would consider worse off than Chaos. Nighthaunt, awesome. Best models, easy to paint, crazy and fun lore. Little to no negatives that I can really think of, besides their models are also very easy to snap, but yeah, no, so they're pretty awesome. I mean, if you get a Nighthaunt book, I assume you just want spooky ghosts that rampage into everything. Gloomspite kind of do the same thing with their squigs. Very fun play style, very fun lore. Orcs. They could use a serious model refresh. Despite this being the age of the beast, air quotes, they really haven't gotten anything. Like, the orc cruelboys are technically like another addition to destruction, but they're pretty lame. Like, if orc cruelboys were here, I'd put them here. Like, this list didn't have them, but just assume if I had orc cruelboys, they'd be down here. Maybe even Cringe and Solus. They just have baby legs. And I can't stop looking at those dopey legs but super long torsos. These are the definitive greenskins. Yeah, I'm putting you guys actually up here. You are the king of okay or has very few issues. If you guys had more models, you'd probably be bumped up to here, but that's almost not your fault. That's more or less GW's issue. Skaven. Same issue, but I also not the biggest fan of Skaven, but they need an entire model line refresh. And I don't know, they're lamer in Age of Sigmar than they were in Warhammer Fantasy. They don't get to do anything. While in Warhammer Fantasy, you always felt like Skaven's influence at least somewhere. These guys are kind of lame now, despite them basically hard carrying chaos. You know what? That's also another issue I have with them. I despise that Skaven are in the Grand Alliance of Chaos. They should be destruction. Like, they should not be Grand Alliance Chaos. I hate the fact that they're basically warp demon rats. They were much more cooler when they were basically Warhammer Fantasy's equivalent of Tyranids, where that just disgusting mess of teeth that wants to devour and kill everything. Yeah, if you were to separate Skaven from Chaos, I'd like them more. Stormcast, Cringe and Solus. I despise the idea of ground marines, sig marines. and any other negative term I could possibly throw at them. They are GW's most laziest, most boring design I have ever seen. I'm insulted that I have to look at them. They piss me off to no. Just, I can't even fathom how much they piss me off. I feel vehement hatred and the fury of 1,000 hot pockets whenever I have to remember they exist. They look stupid. Their lore is stupid. Oh, you can't die. Oh, wait, you can die, but you just get reforged and you become more like a Terminator. Okay, cool. How many times does that actually happen? The most amount of times a Stormcast has ever been killed is only like twice? Get out of here, man. Like, their models look okay sometimes. Like, the newer ones in 3rd edition looked pretty sweet. But their old 1st edition models are utterly chonky and disgusting to look at. I can't believe they replaced the Empire with this. These guys are just lame. Complete opposite, we have our first Pure Soul and Based, making giant tree spirits. Well, I guess just tree spirits. There's some of them that are giant, like the tree lords, but tree spirits that ride on giant bugs. Awesome. Very cool, unique idea. I love it. I'm also a massive simp for the Ents in Lord of the Rings. So that's probably why they're up here. Like, give me more models. There hasn't been a bad Sylvaneth model yet. Also, make them matter more in the lore. Like, the Oak of Ages is back, but great. What does that really mean? I still am salty that one of the first books of that had the Sylvaneth in it had the Sigmarines show up and save Alariel. No. No. Alright. Slaves of Darkness has... You know what? Slaves of Darkness is being here automatically makes every other mono chaos faction better. Besides Beast of Chaos. Purely because Archaon exists. I despise Archaon so much. He is just like Abaddon, where he makes a very cool faction that would probably be here or maybe even up here. He just drags it down by like 2 notches by his mere existence. I don't know why GW has to copy the same exact thing, like, oh, he's the leader of chaos, but he secretly hates chaos, but he's not corrupted by it. Get out of here. No, that's such a lame, like, thought. Like, give me Eliphas from Dawn of War, like that religious zealot who, like, preaches the good word of chaos. Like, at least that guy buys into the Kool-Aid he's trying to sell everyone else. Like, if he didn't exist, I'd probably bump these guys up. Be'lakor is okay. The idea that these two might have a civil war would honestly elevate this faction, but GW would never let their pet Archaon even so much as lose. But I like Archaon more than Abaddon, so I'll bitch less about him. Alright, Ossiarch bonereapers. Very cool, lacking on models. Honestly, if it wasn't for Chaos, I'd consider them the most evil faction purely because they remind me of the IRS. Pay your taxes is probably the most evil thing I could ever hear. IRL. Their models, they need more. I want archers. I want, like, more constructs. There's nothing really wrong with them. Like, I know they're Death's answer to Stormcast, but they just look cooler. And their lore is far less cringe. Like, oh, Sigmarines drop in from bolts of lightning, and they have thunder powers, and they also ride thundercats and thunder lizards, and they are in storm keeps. Like, if I have to hear the word thunder, storm, or lightning with Sigmarines anymore, I'm going to literally blow out my brains. Alright. Another problem, another dwarf faction issue of they really don't matter. Like, I don't know if GW hates dwarves or something, because it really seems like the dwarves never get to be relevant. Like, can anyone tell me what these two factions have done that has been significant besides existing? Like, I want to like these two factions, but I don't like their models, and their lore is either non-existent to Then again, I really don't like the steampunk design for the I don't know, I forget these guys' names. I don't know, the steampunk dwarves. Also, They don't got any gods, super capitalist, but it makes it a little bit more based than the Fireslayers. But I don't know, they just don't feel like they belong in Age of Sigmar. Like, I don't know. Alright, we got something good news finally. The Lumineth. Pretty cool. I like a lot of their models. I like to keep up the tradition of stupid hats. Also, they use drugs to amp themselves up. Like, hurry, Elpheus, give me that sweet, sweet quartz so I can amp myself up. Such a fun concept. That makes them immediately better. Lizardmen, their new models look awesome. Lizardmen have always been pure... Yeah, Lizardmen up here. Lizardmen, one of those few fun concepts that GW can originally create that are just awesome. Mesoamerican lizards on top of dinosaurs that shoot freaking laser beams. Like, I can't even imagine, like, saying those words and not going, oh my god, that is the greatest thing ever. Like, if it wasn't for the Lizardmen refresh, I'd probably put them in I like them tier. Soul Blight. I want to say these guys are pure soul, but they're stupid model. I just don't like their models. I really don't like their models. They're like, there's like few models that I like from them, but I like them more than I like the Flesh Eater Quartz. Like, and now that I realize I'm being a little bit mean to the dwarves, they're definitely better than the ogres. At least they have their own identity. Nah, gargants are... There we go. I made a mistake. Gargants have basically no personality. They're just big think. Ogres are being chased by an eternal winter that tries to kill them while also riding mammoths to outrun everybody. Let's see. Soulblight Gravelords, I was talking about it before I lost track. Soulblight Gravelords. Yeah. There's few models of theirs that are cool, like their Death Rattle Skeletons, whatever they call them. Those models were pretty cool. Their Blood Knights are okay. I hate their Codex art because I thought the Vampire Lord on foot would look like this guy, but it has those weird bats. They also are lacking a zombie dragon. Very lame. And now for the last faction, Daughters of Khaine. I'm honestly surprised Morathi achieved godhood. That alone saves them from being okay as a few issues. I thought that was going to be that thing that will go on for years, that will never really get any resolution on. The fact that they were able to move the plot line up and troll Sigmar at the same exact time, especially trolling Sigmarines, already makes me like them. Like, yeah, I know. Monster Girl faction, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, honestly, if I had to reshuffle these guys, Gloomspite gets, they're not as cool as these guys, but they are definitely cooler than them. Yeah, no. Everyone else, let's see. You guys are pretty good. You're in the right order. And the Idoneths have the best model range out of all the mono gods. If Skaven got an update on their model line, they'd probably shoot up to I like them. Yeah. No, Nurgle, I can't really say. They have a better model line than everybody else here. Actually, I like Nurgle the best. I just don't like how saturated we are with Nurgle stuff. It seems like everything revolves, like, the go-to villain for almost every single book is always Nurgle. Or Khorne, but Khorne at least has awesome models. God, love the Bloodthirster. Yeah, no, Tzeentch. The only other is the Lord of Change. That's their only cool model, in my opinion. But yeah, I think that's everyone. Yep, this is the definitive list. If you are beneath the yellow line, you should honestly probably pick up a second army or consider who you follow because you've been given wrong information. If you are anywhere above the yellow of this orangish line, that means we can hang out. You are certified best friendo, and your opinion is valid. Anyone, like I said, yellow and below, your opinion matters way less than even the lowliest of Disciple of Tzeentch players. But that's it for this video. Stay tuned for next video where I rant about whatever thing crosses my mind.